As in, I'm just a humble man who grew in a village in Makui, who has just been, who never had dreams of being a banker, who just had one dream of becoming an accountant one day. So I'm quite that person. Most people don't know about me is that one thing is that I'm born again. I've loved God because for me to be what I am today, it has been a journey that has taken the hands of God. So I never believe it when I walk into an office today to look for a business because who I am today is something that I thought one day I would not become, but it has come to happen through the grace of God. So for me, love of God is one thing that most people, even when they meet me in the office, they don't know. But that's one thing I treasure most in myself. Mm, It didn't come out of interest. It comes out of one day that I was so frustrated. I found myself in the street of Nairobi, and I was seated somewhere in the jobless corner, just the building between Stanback House and Hilton Hotel. So in front of me, I could see Standard Chartered, the old Standard Chartered offices. And behind, I could just see Hilton Hotel where my dad used to work. So for me, it was an issue. Very tired after a day in hawking because they used to sell damos for a company called Kiboko and Kifaru. So I was so tired and I was just sitting there and I was like, hey, God, what don't I have? Don't I have papers? Like the young guys I see entering Standard Chartered. So to me, it was just a point whereby I like, hey, what does it take for me to become a banker? And I dared to enter into the Standard Bank house and went there and just said that I want to see the HR. So that's how I got myself to meet a lady by the name Sylvia, who I left with my CV and my document, who later called me later and asked me, Charles, we have an opportunity in sales. Would you like to be a salesperson? And that's how I was recruited in Standard Chartered. It's quite a memorable because I didn't have any experience in banking. So you find that when I went for an interview, I had three people who interviewed me. That was Robert Kibara, the current executive director for housing finance, and there was Nicodemus Gira, who was in charge of the direct sales agents, and then there was a lady by the name Sylvia, who was from the human resource department. So personally, I didn't have any dream of being a banker, but I also didn't have any experience in terms of in service industry. So to me, they asked me most, how do you want to become a banker yet you don't have any background or any experience in terms of banking? Then I told them, you know what? I just got motivated to see young guys entering to Standard Chartered building as I was seated there at Jobless Corner, and I just got interested and I just wanted to say, you know what, I can also make to be a good banker. So by uh, through the interview, they just asked me a few questions, and I told them, you know what, I don't have the experience in selling service, but I have an experience selling physical goods on the street. So, and I believe the market concept is the same because it's just a seller and a buyer. So it's just about me being the seller convincing the buyer to buy the products. So I just told them how my day was as a hawker in the street. When I would sell now thermos, when I would sell even the socks, the ones we used to sell, 5 pairs of socks for 100 shillings. So they just had my story and they just ranked me from the word go. And they said, yeah, we need such a person like you. So myself and a channel. It was not planned, or something I ever thought that one day I become a banker. But it just happened that one day I found myself. Can I hold a meeting? A minute? Hey, Cynthia. Yeah, I'm sorry. Uh-huh. Yes. Okay, it's supposed to be done today. It's supposed to be done today because it's a deal relating to an LC. So we are doing it today. It will be done. Okay.
No problem, no problem.
Sorry for that. That's how my day is. So calls have to come every minute, and definitely I have to answer to these calls. My first day at the bank was quite, I think it's a day I'll never forget. We had gotten a training. We were trained for a week by Standard Chartered. So, and after getting our training, then we were told, Nicodemus Gira, who was our supervisor by then, took us to Moy Avenue, just where we have the Dedan Kimathi sculpture. So, and told us, you know what, guys, you see all these people who are moving around here, they're all going to different offices. Your role is now to go and find where they are going and go get business for the bank. So to me, it wasn't easy. So, and there was it. That was our first introduction at work. And it was go and look for business. So to me, I couldn't even know where do I go and start. So what we did is that when you get to a new place of work, you get a group of people, you become friends, and you start meeting. So what we did, we went to Jivanchil and started sleeping there. Because barely there's nothing we knew which office could we enter, because we were very green in terms of career-wise. So we didn't even have that confidence of facing people and telling them, you know what, my name is Charles, I'm from EcoBank, I'm from Standard Chartered, we sell this particular product and this is what we want to sell for you. So it was quite a very tough moment for me. It's made me at one point is that if we were not threatened that 1 month that we are going to be fired by our employer, we definitely could not have changed, because we just used to report to work and go to Jivanjil and sleep. Then once it's maybe 3 hours, 5 hours done, then you pass by through the street, you go to some of the shops, you try and open an account, then you go with one account, you open that one account, and that was it for the day. But at least now we are told, you know what, guys, if you continue not bringing business, the bank will make a decision of firing you guys. So that was a wake-up call for us, and we thought about it. How are we going to lose jobs? We really had to come here, convince the interviewer that we deserve this job. So definitely that to me was a wake-up call, and I didn't want to go back to the hawking job. So I really had to give it my best, and with no courage and everything, the first place I thought of was NHF building or NSF building. So I went there, and it was quite a challenge even to enter offices to see employees or the staff of the company so that you're able to sell the product. So what I did personally is that I went there, and it was very difficult the first day. The second day I couldn't enter. The third day, Vonda really was selling chapati and what are they called, mandazi. I told her, you know what? Can I help you with one of the basket? And we go and try to sell this chapati. And that was how I managed to enter into NIHF. And that was my first point of success. That's why I was able to get a breakthrough in my career in banking. And I was able to open quite a number of accounts. And I was also able to sell a few number of loans to staff of NSSF. So to me, that was how I started off in the banking career. So that's what I have now, Hezbollah. One thing is that one of the challenges we really face is that not all customers will come to embrace internet banking or online banking. So we really have a challenge mostly with customers who don't want to walk physically to the bank and transact, but they still want to make payments. But we have already onboarded them into our internet banking platform. Yet they have not been able to embrace fully the use of internet banking. Some people are very quiet. They fear using the platform. They say it's insecure. So they still use the old method of banking. By the end of the day, with the scare of COVID-19, most customers were like, I don't want to go to the bank. Can I do an email to you? Can I scan instruction to you? As a branch manager, you have this instruction process for me. So it's quite a big balance because you don't want to lose the customer, that the COVID situation is here to stay with us. It's not ending the day after tomorrow. So it was quite a very tough moment for us. Having that balance of you're forced even to train some customers from home because you're forced to create to enter into online platform like Google Meet, Teams, and train customers on how to do payment from the comfort of their home. So it was quite it has been a very difficult moment for us. And as a branch manager, then the instances whereby you train, you're unable to do those payments, then you're forced now to come back. The bank has really made it clear that no processing of scan instruction. So you are forced again to get approvals internally to process those payments. So it has just been a very difficult moment for us because again, the customer is king. The customer is everything. The customer is why I'm here in Ecobank, why the bank exists. So now having that balance of making the customer happy and ensuring that you're following the procedures that are set by the bank, that balance as a branch manager is quite something that is really difficult for basis. So whereby at times you're forced to go out of your way to seek exceptional approval internally so that you're able to process some of the customer's instructions so that you make the customer happy and you make them able to make their payments because you still need this customer even after COVID. So if you mess with customer during the COVID season and they choose another banking partner, then you know you're going to be in trouble. So for us, for me as a branch manager, then it makes that call that at times you have to go out of your way to involve and to talk to other stakeholders in the bank and tell them, you know what, this customer is on this platform, this customer has not embraced internet banking, this customer, we have trained them on online banking, they're unable to do the transfers. So it's quite, I'll call it calls for a lot of, as a branch manager, one, you have to really listen to your customers so that you really understand reasons why they're not able maybe to process the instruction via online platform. And if now after the reason is really genuine and it's a clear that you're not able to, then you find a way internally to be in a position to process their payment because they have to pay their staff, they have to pay their bills. Other companies, as we speak today, they are fully operating from home. Like some of my major customers are purely not going to the offices at all. When you go to the offices, you'll only find one or two staff. All the staff are working from home. So you can find in a scenario whereby for one hitch or the other, they have done transfer, maybe using online platform, and maybe for one reason or the other, that payment has failed or was not successful. Then you're forced to find a way to have the same payment reprocessed for them internally. So which now will require you to get approval internally. So before you proceed to process, start scan instructions, and then again you have to do proper due diligence to ensure that those instructions are authentic before you proceed to process them. So to me, it has been a hard time, and a hard time whereby at times you're forced to do things exceptionally, as in forced to go out of your way, even to organize riders to go to customers' home so that they deliver instructions like letter of maybe when you're giving credit facilities, you have to go out of your way and make sure that this happens. Because like when you're giving a credit facility, then in that case, you're forced that you have to physically deliver something like a letter of offer to the customer. So customer is telling you, I'm working from home. The bank has not yet accepted signing of letter of offer and scanning it to the bank because they need the customer to really sign on the physical letter of offer. So it has really been a tug of it has really been difficult for us to have that balance and make sure that our customers are happy. But what has really stand out is that even with COVID, it was, I think to me as not only as a branch manager or as a marketer, it was quite the best time to sell products to the customer, the best time to onboard more customers in terms of to come in and bank with EcoBank. Because one of the things EcoBank has really done is that we're really doing well in terms of we have quite stable online banking platforms that allows customers to be in a position to make payments. So during this COVID season, as in, I'll reach out to some customers, I'll get some referrals from the existing customers. Some customers will sell to me to other customers and say, you know what, with EcoBank, I don't have to go to the banking hall. I have a branch manager who has been able to do this for me, train me on how to do some of this payment, and I find the EcoBank platform being very friendly. So that has been the experience, but it has also been it has really been not such a very good, easy moment for us, even for the customers who walk into the bank. So, but anyway, we really treasure our job, and we say we are grateful to God that we've been able to have those moments, and things have really gone smoothly as it is right now. It has been that has been the case. One of the things that we were forced to do as a bank is that we were forced to have two groups for every branch. In terms of, like with me, I have two groups. I have Group A and I have Group B. So every group is able to come for at least for 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks, the other group comes in. So you find with this, what happens is that we ensure that even in a scenario whereby one of us is maybe from Group A is infected, so you find automatically the bank can recall Group B to come in and continue for the continuity of things to go as normal. Then the Group B will come in and continue running the branch as usual without any strain. So to me, that has been the best thing the bank, with recommendation from the Kenya bankers and recommendation from our regulator, that's central bank. That has really worked, because even in scenarios whereby staff, maybe one staff in a particular branch is able to get themselves infected with COVID, then you find in that case, then you find the bank has been in a position to have the other group that is working from home coming in and making sure that things are going as normal, whereby the customers will not be in a position to deal with strangers. Because the worst thing you can do mostly in the banking industry is you close a branch, and no, you either close a branch permanently, or in a scenario whereby you come and introduce strangers to come and serve customers who are working on daily basis. So with premier customers and corporate customers, when you introduce a stranger or a new person that that is not known to them, before they understand the kind of how this customer needs to be treated, understand the personality of this customer, because different customers, different ways that they want to be treated in terms of their banking. There are customers who, when they come to the banking hall, they don't want to be served from the normal counter. They want to go to the premier lounge. There are customers who, when they are here, they demand a lot of attention. There are customers who don't want to be served in an open place in customer service. They simply need a place whereby they need to sit in an office where they're attended by maybe a branch operation manager. So it has really worked, and I would say one of the things that has really worked for us as a bank is that having those two groups have really made things easier for us as a bank. That even in a unlikelihood whereby one of the staff has been infected with COVID, then the branch is still able to run without necessarily, there's nothing that can stop the branch from running, because you have another team that understands, that knows customers, that understands all the processes, that the team that is able to come in and ensure that everything runs smoothly in the bank. So that has been the case. One thing that I like about my job every day is that it's more about problem solving and being in a position to give solutions to customers. So to me, it has been such quite a very good, and again, you learn more. One thing about banking is you learn more every day, because you meet customers from different industries, in pharmaceutical industry, in manufacturing industries, in construction industry, in logistic industries. At the end of the day, all these customers requires in way either they need banking services. Not only just the banking service, they also need facilities from the bank. So as a branch manager, the first thing you need to do is to understand that customer's line of business. And you understand their line of operations. So you understand their day-to-day banking, their day-to-day operations, like how they, once you come back here, you're able to sit, when you come back to the office, you're able to sit in and maybe come up with a facility or a credit facility that will work and meet their their banking needs or their financing need. So to me, one of the things that really inspires me, every day I get a new challenge when I come to work. And this new challenge, I have to think through about it and think, how do I solve this customer? I have a customer today who has held, maybe they're exiting the country, they need to pay some custom duty. And customer comes in and tells you, Charles, I don't have money, so how can you sort me out? So I have to think outside the box and see, what do I do for this customer? Do I need to organize a temporary overdraft for this customer? So to me, every day I have to think and think hard and find a solution for a customer. Because the customer also expects, you are my banker, so what do you think we do? And the customer leaves the question to you, Charles. I'm stranded, my trucks are stranded, I need fuel. So how can EcoBank come in and help me? Then you as a branch manager, you sit in and you sit down and draft a memo or you draft an email to the approvers internally and you tell them, you know what, this customer is well known to me, they have fees, they have these receivables, they fully bank with EcoBank, they need this kind of facility, which is a short term. So to me, that's being every day that I have to think of a solution and solve a problem. I feel proud of myself as I'm going home because someone comes into the bank and they didn't have a solution and they were stranded, they were not able to make, they couldn't make payments, and I make that happen. The customer just wanted 1 million, 3 million, and they wanted to maybe fuel their vehicles or trucks. And I'm able to make that happen within an hour or 2 hours. So that to me is an excitement that when I go, I feel fulfilled, that I've been able to change another business, that I've been able to impact other lives in either direct. So one of the things that has really made me to like banking is that every day you have a new challenge at your desk as a branch manager. And you really have to find a solution because everyone, again, at the branch level, expect that you have all the solutions to all the problems. So at the end of the day, you really have to think around it and think for a solution. So that every day that you're challenged, that you have to get a solution and solve a problem is really one thing that has really made me to like banking, and that has really inspired me in also sticking in the banking and aiming higher to the next level in terms of banking career to see where next I can go from a branch manager to something else, maybe to the head of SME, to the head of corporate or something else. So that's really has been. Now, when it comes to people who want to join banking, a career in banking is very open to anyone, any race, any gender, any origin, any age, as long as you have your ID. So it's open for you. Because one thing is the banking is that we normally don't look at what you did in campus, whether you did marketing, whether you did business administration. Because more of what you do in the banking is more of job training, is on-job training, is that you are trained at work. And but more of what banks look for, they look mostly for one. They look for honest and trustworthy individuals. And once you're able to portray that you have that honesty, you are a trustworthy person, then getting a job in the bank is very easy. And then you can grow. And as you try to define your path in the banking, whether you want to go into the operation sides, where you want to become a teller, become a head teller, then a branch operation manager, or you define your path, you want to grow in business, become a relationship manager, become a credit manager, become a branch manager, go to being a corporate RM. So whichever side you define to go in, whether you define to go in operations or define to go in business, that opportunity is there for you. But the key and important thing that banks look at is that are you a honest person? Are you a trustworthy person? Are you a person who is willing to learn? Are you a person who really has a zeal for this job? So to me, I think to me is that what I'll tell anyone there who wants to become a branch manager one day, banking is open for anyone. Anyone, as long as you have, but one thing you have to know is that you have to be ready to serve people every day. To serve people with your time, you have really to be willing at any time to receive calls, whether you like it or not. Like I'll give an example. At the bank, we bank people who are even outside the countries. We bank customers who are in Greece, we bank customers who are in USA, we bank customers who are in Germany, and it's time difference. And at times you find someone is stranded out there out of the country, but they want to reach out to a relationship manager. They want to reach out to you as a branch manager, and they tell you, Charles, I have this issue, I want it sorted. Can you give me a solution? So, considering you might be having a family and at that particular time is your family moment and it's the evening, maybe it's at 10, you just say, I won't receive this call. But with banking, it's service industries, you really have to be available for your customer whenever they need. So you even go out of your way, even when you're supposed to be having a time with your family, you find a call of someone who is stranded. Hey, Charles, I'm trying to swipe my ATM card. It can't swipe. So can you be able to assist? And that now where you come in, and we have a team that works on 24/7. That is our client engagement team. So you can just simply drop them an email or drop them or just make a call to them and tell them, this customer by this name, stranded, can you check and assist? And you just able to link that person to someone who is still working and who is able to serve that particular customer and ensure that they're happy. So to me, as a customer in the banking, you have to be dedicated. It's something you have to be dedicated. If you don't have the dedication, if you're not a people person, someone who like dealing with people, because every day you deal with people, some will like you, some will not like you. But whether they like you or not, then at the end of the day, as a bank, you are forced to smile to them, even when some will even provoke you. And at the end of the day, when you sit there, you have to smile to them and tell them, how can I assist you, sir? Because that is your job. That's what you're supposed to do. So to me, I'll tell out there people who really want to keep on to grow and to learn more about all industries, because banking is one place where you'll understand any industry. You'll understand pharmaceutical industry, you'll understand what happened in manufacturing industries, you'll understand what is happening in construction industries, because we deal with all these kind of customers. And in one way or the other, they need banking services. And not only banking services, where they need financing. And where they need financing, again, before you finance them, then you have to understand their business. So to me, for anybody who wants in future, maybe who aspires even to do business or to start a multi-million investment kind of business, then I say is that the banking is the best place to start off, because you'll understand so much business that by the time you're going there and you're starting your own business, you are really enlightened, you really have all information, you're very resourceful, and there's nothing that will challenge you in terms of when you start off any business. So to me, out there to people who are in school, people who are aspiring to join the banking is open for everyone, open for everyone. So it's just a matter of once you come on board, is that you really have to be committed to it, and it requires a lot of dedication, because what will help you move from one level to the other is not more about your papers. It's more about what you're going to learn when you're still working. The on-job training is really very key. because we do courses on monthly basis that are organized by bank for us to know what is happening in the world. We are trained on ICT to understand what's happening in the ICT world. A lot of kind of training for us, for you as a banker to be in a position to know with what is happening outside in the world, so that as you serve the customer, you are already well informed and you're able to understand what is really happening out there, so that you're able to come up with solutions that are able to serve those customers and meet their needs. So Hesbon, I think that's all for me, and thank you very much for this interview.